what does the glute max actually do when you run? Hey guys, it's JP, and today we're going to talk a little more about the gluteus maximus, aka the glute max, and what it does as you run. Now first, let's start with a question. What if the main thing the glute max does is not what you think? That's what happened to me. I used to think the main role of the glute max occurred during the push-off, which is around the moment that the foot was about to leave the ground. At this moment, the glute max would contract, which would increase the amount of force developed through the legs into the ground and drive the body forward. I thought this is where this muscle really shined during the running cycle. A few years ago, I even made videos that reflected that thought. And to be honest, this is still a very common thought among many runners and coaches. Now, while this muscle may help with that, I no longer think of that as where these muscles really get worked. Let me explain. Before we get into what the main roles of the glute max are, let's do a little experiment. Here is a blank graph looking at muscle activity for the gluteus maximus. The x-axis will represent the running cycle, with 0 being when the foot first lands, and 100% being the very end of the running cycle, where the foot is about to land again to start the next cycle. On the y-axis, let's keep this simple and let's just say that this will represent recorded muscle force. The more it works, the higher it'll go. Now, where do you think peak muscle forces would be recorded in the running cycle? If you were like me, where you thought it worked the most to produce force in the ground to move you forward, you would say that it might happen here, which is where the push-off phase happens. However, based on some research actually looking at this, it happens here. Now, what might this suggest? Well, to put it simply, I'd say that the gluteus maximus may help more with getting through the running cycle quicker rather than primarily helping with force production to take bigger steps. During this first peak, this muscle is going through the mid-stance phase where the muscle is working to do two things. One is contracting in a manner to bring the body forward to prepare for the push-off phase. The stronger the contraction, the faster this will happen. The other may be to help control movement around the pelvis as you are in a single leg position. This helps stabilize the pelvis and may reduce any energy leakage that may occur during this stage. As for the second peak, this occurs roughly at the end of the swing phase where the leg is decelerating as it goes in front of you so it can land closer to the body. This matters because the closer the leg lands to the body, the less distance that is involved to get to the next propulsion phase and therefore get there quicker. So as you can see, the overall role of the glute max may be more so to increase how quickly you take your steps, most notably through getting from the mid-stance phase to the push-off phase faster, as well as getting the leg to land closer to the body after the swing phase. However, I still believe that training this muscle may help with both taking quicker steps and taking bigger steps as you run so you can go faster. This just provides a bit more of a refined lens on what goes on when you run. And that's all for the video. I hope you found this useful. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you shared this with another runner or coach that would enjoy it. And as always, thank you for watching.